too. And thank you so much, Dr. Sharon, and thank you, all of you. And I was sitting back there listening to these beautiful words and these beautiful sounds, and just recognizing with such gratitude for myself for this evening, but also for all of you, that you get to have this experience on Wednesdays and Sundays and many other days. But what a wonderful place to come together with that kind of a frequency and that kind of an energy, because it is so true, wherever two or more are gathered. There is a collective for knowing, and there is a collective for wisdom, and there is a collective for love that not only changes our lives, but changes our world. So thank you. Thank you for the great experience I've had already. So I'll just sit down. I'm content. I've had a really good time. So I'm going to start. You know the one about this guy's out in the Colorado Rockies late at night. Dark, dark night, moonless night. And he's going for a walk, and he falls off the cliff, just falls dead off the cliff, and he's tumbling down the mountain, and he's screaming and hollering, and he reaches out and he grabs onto the limb of the tree. And he's just dangling like this from this limb of the tree. And in desperation, he shouts up into the black, black sky, "Is anybody up there?" Dead silence, no chimes. No Dr. Sharon, nothing. So he's dangling some more, and he's getting tired, and he shouts out one more time, "Is anybody up there?" And he hears this voice, and it says, "I am here." And he says, "Oh, my word, I am so blessed. Who are you?" And the voice says, "I am God." And the man says, "Oh, my God, thank you for coming. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for being here. Tell me what to do. I will do anything." And the voice says, "Let go of the branch." And the man shouts up, "Is anybody else up there?" And that's the story of our lives. It's the places where we're holding on to old identities, to old places. The only reason we ever take things personally is because we're holding on to old ideas about ourselves, that we've traveled through different places, we've had journeys, and some of those journeys have been easy, and some of them have been dark, and some of them have been happy, and some of them have not been happy. The thing is, they are not who we are. They are places we have traveled. So when we want to bring out the amazing promise of who we are, and the promise of who we are is all the infinite things that have already been discussed this evening, that when we want to bring that out into the world, we have to be conscious of the baggage that we're carrying, the way we're holding onto the branch of what we think is safe, but is clearly this guy hanging out there like this is going to end up letting go anyway, only maybe not have the focus that he needs in order to guide him into the promise of him, the promise of all that he can be. So when we have all of this extra baggage, and it doesn't have to be big doo-dah, it's when we start to take the guy in front of us in the car personally. It's when we start to take the banker who won't help us out personally. It's when we start to take the neighbor who made a critical statement about us personally. That's when we're cross-referencing, because the brain is always cross-referencing, to an old statement, an old idea about who we think we are. And we're attached to that as a concept. It's an old story that simply doesn't serve us. So in order to let go of the branch, in order to trust that letting go of the branch is the greatest thing we could ever do for ourselves and for each other and for our world and certainly for our God, in order to understand that completely, it would be essential for us to then be able to recognize when we're in a story. The key, if we're into hurt feelings, clearly second agreement in a story, okay? When we're into he done me wrong, she done me wrong, which means a victim, even if he, she, or it done you wrong, if you're attached to that concept, or I'm attached to that concept, that's a story. if I find that every time I turn around, I'm having the next drama in my life, that's a story. It's a soap opera. None of the things make us wrong. It's not about what might make us wrong. It's not even about what make us right. We're already one with all that is, so we don't need to be made right. We need to remember wholeness. We need to remember something greater than the story.